Welcome back. I'm your host, Christine Marie, and you are watching the Bold Day of TV. It's 240 minutes of mission and need statements. I am back with Lynn McKenna of the Alzheimer's Association. Hello. It's so nice to have you here. So tell me, what is your mission?
The mission of the Alzheimer's Association is to lead the way in finding a cure for Alzheimer's in all the dementias. So people think Alzheimer's is like the only one. It is. It is a disease. It's one form of overhand. Someone to
Wow,
it's
that's a lot of dementia.
a lot.
Yeah. As somebody who is going through this with her parents, what kind of early warning signs are there for these different kinds of dementia?
Have a brochure that has the 10 warning signs. So the number one warning sign, the number one trigger is when people lose their ability to speak. They can't remember words. They can't complete a sentence. We all do that occasionally,
Right.
but it becomes a pattern. You notice it, as on a daily basis. That's one of the warning signs. Loss of, wanting to be involved with friends, being more reclusive. Um, Sometimes they forget how to do personal hygiene, different kinds of things. And it's called cognitive impairment. So it's when your brain kind of starts short circuiting
Right.
and not functioning right. And so we all have times when we forget, we lose our keys, we can't find our glasses. But the trigger for a sign of dementia is if it starts to impact your daily life.
Right. So if someone's noticing these signs, a friend or loved one, what steps should they take? Because, it's been my experience that, seniors don't want to be told that they're getting forgetful. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to hear that, right? And so what's a good way to approach somebody who might be having this issue to get the first steps of help?
Well, sometimes you can go to your doctor and have a physical, and not all doctors are real willing to give a diagnosis. So there are, if you suspect something, that would probably be the first stage. But the first stage I would suggest would be to go to our website and find what the warning signs are and the triggers. And then if you think that there's a problem, go to the physician, tell them that you've got a concern. Um, the person that has the dementia may not agree with you. 'Cause
Right.
sometimes they're in total denial.
Yeah.
And then there's things that they can do. And you can also call, we have a 24-hour, 7-day a week hotline number. And there's over 200 technicians. They're trained people. They're not volunteers. You can call them and present them with your problem. They can set up a family conference to start the conversation.
Oh, that's
If
a
your
good resource.
are not willing to listen,
Yeah.
they can help you facilitate that. And they speak over 200 languages.
Wow.
So people from all over the world use this website.
Thank you. That's really important that we get those resources out. So right now we're in like kind of a wonky climate with funding. How is your funding being affected this year?
We're not exactly sure yet.
Okay.
The association is funded through charitable organizations, foundations, private donors. The walk is the main source of funding. So there's 600 walks nationwide that are they go all year long, but mostly in the fall. We have the longest day. The summer solstice is called the longest day because it has the most light. And so we're hoping for a bright light to find a cure type of thing. So a lot of people will be doing fundraising on that day. And if somebody uh, donates, you can do it to us locally. And then it counts for our walk. Then our goal for our walk this year is to raise $193,000. That's a
Wow.
pretty lofty goal.
Well, these walks are pretty big, though.
Yeah.
So the more people that participate, the better it goes, of course. What is the date of your walk?
Our walk is October 11th at the Dorney Center
Okay.
from 9 to noon.
Okay. And there's information at which website on that one?
It would be Humboldt Walk.
Humboldt Walk.
Humboldt Walk.
Okay.
2025 Humboldt Walk, and our local website should come out.
Okay. So great. I'm glad we have information online about that. So what are some of the things that you would like the local community to know about the organization?
Okay, one of the things I would like to bring up is the fact that we are one of the top recognized organizations for the best use of our money. So 5% of all funds raised goes to administrative costs.
That's really low.
Yes, very low. 18% goes to fundraising, and 77% goes to research, care, and support of people that have dementia. So the website has all kinds of programs that you can engage on. We have online Zoom education programs in both English and Spanish.
Great.
Both a lot of the literature, brochures, and access on the website are in both languages, and I believe they're working on a couple of other languages that are, getting more prevalent in the world today.
That's really great that you have things in so many different languages. Because I know some, some non-English speakers would then otherwise miss out on this wonderful resource. So I think that's really important that everybody knows that.
And we try to partner with some of the local Hispanic groups here. We give them our brochures, and they take them to their events. Of course, the brochures are in Spanish as well,
That's great.
and so they can take them and hand them out to people.
Right.
And some of our more indigenous populations are less receptive of going to the doctors. There's a lot of mistrust about things like that. So part of our mission here in Humboldt County, and my mission particularly, is to educate people about the disease,
Right.
about the fact that there is help and support, but no cure right now, but we're working on it very, very hard. The more research they found, they now have tests that they can do. They're working on a blood test for biomarkers. They have developed some medications that can't cure the disease, that can slow the progress down, but you have to have an early diagnosis. And that's the key, is to get the early diagnosis from a physician. They can do a PET scan that can show abnormalities in your brain.
So yeah, I would say for those watching at home, the call to action on this thing would be to go earlier rather than later. Approach your loved one, your parents, your grandparents sooner rather than later, and approach the subject of let's just get some tests done and see, right? It doesn't hurt to see. And
And
then
if your physician says, "Oh, they just have mild cognitive impairment," well, that's kind of the medical phraseology that, yeah, there might be a problem. And sometimes I know people personally that have not been able to get their doctors here locally to do anything, and so they've gone to Stanford or UCSF, where they have actual research programs on them.
and both of those institutions are wonderful. I know a lot of people in this region kind of go to other regions for some care. So that's
Davis also.
yeah, yeah. UC Davis has a great Alzheimer's clinic. Uh, yeah. So, um, do you have? You said you had a fundraising goal this year of how much again?
Our walk goal is $193,000.
And how many volunteers does it take to do the walk?
Well, people don't and to actually put the walk on.
Yeah.
Right now, we have, I think, 15 people on our committee. So if anybody would be interested in joining our committee, you're more than welcome.
Okay. Great. So, thank you very much for appearing with us today on the Bold Day of TV. If you missed any portion of this interview, we will be replaying throughout the month. And of course, you can see more about this organization on the Bold Day of Giving. Stay tuned with us, but after these messages, we'll talk to another nonprofit.